Welcome to the 24K Life Code. I'm your host, Derick Gant. Here at the 24K Life, we love to bring you exciting, new, and interesting people that will help you to level up your life. 24K Life is about understanding how you can eliminate the things that are holding you back. And today, we're going to teach you how to hold back some pain. But anyway, how to hold back, to get rid of things that are holding you back, keeping you down, procrastination, laziness, no motivation, poor goals, poor diets, bad spending habits, whatever might be holding you back from leveling up to living the absolute best life you can live is what we're all about. See, we believe that when you become your best self, that your value, your worth increases for yourself. And once you do that, the world sees and recognizes just how great you are. So with that, we want each and every one of you to like, share, and subscribe. We hope that you enjoy this episode. We have Natalie Gerardo on, and she is going to help us figure out how to get rid of several issues that might be clouding our life, our judgment, and our ability to maneuver. Natalie, how are you?
I am wonderful. Thank you for asking.
I love to ask. If you aren't doing great, then we wouldn't be recording. So you've got to be doing great.
Definitely.
All right. So, we talked briefly a few weeks ago, and I shared with you that I actually know a very little bit, not even enough to be dangerous, about your expertise. So why don't you tell us, you are a magnesium expert, and we're going to get into all the nitty gritty about why that's important and all of that. But tell us about your background. How did you become a magnesium expert?
Well, just like most things, it all evolved from a problem, right? So I was solving a problem for myself. So it wasn't all that long ago that I dealt with severe anxiety, panic attacks, insomnia that was just completely crippling my life.
Mm-hmm.
And I was already doing everything that they tell you to do. I was eating a whole foods, plant-based diet. I was exercising regularly, got rid of all the toxic products in my life, and was really working on my lifestyle. And despite doing everything and checking all of those boxes, I still felt awful. I still was not functioning. So I did what any normal person would do, and I went to the doctor, and she was gracious enough to offer me every single battery of tests you could possibly imagine. Like, I felt like a human pincushion when I was done with her.
Wow,
She took so much blood, sent me to all these specialists. And when it was all said and done, she sat me down, she looked me straight in the face, and she says, "Natalie, there's nothing wrong with you. Your blood work is perfect." She's like, "This is part of aging. This is what happens when you get older. This is your life from here on out." And it wasn't okay with me. Like, that level of normal was not my normal. And so I kept learning and researching and trying to figure out what was going on. At one point, I felt like I was throwing spaghetti at the wall because I was like, there's got to be a way to fix this, but I don't know what to do. So I tried everything. And I stumbled upon magnesium. And thankfully, it was just a miracle in my life. Literally, from the first week I started using it, I went from sleeping 2 hours a night to sleeping 6 hours a night, which is a huge difference when you're dealing with insomnia. My anxiety started to go away. I didn't have panic attacks anymore. And I thought, wait a second, why? Why isn't the doctor didn't tell me about this? Why isn't everybody talking about magnesium? Why isn't magnesium in everything we eat? I really started getting really frustrated. So I started becoming absolutely obsessed with this mineral and diving deep into the research, learning everything I could, reading every book I could. And I started telling people about it. So it became my mission to spread awareness about this incredible.
Okay, but you can't skip over. You can't skip over how you got to the magnesium. You're like, she went to the doctor. She said, you're fine. It's in your head. You're just weird. And you go, I'm not weird. I'm normal. Matter of fact, I'm better than normal. How did you get from that conversation to trying magnesium, and what form of magnesium did you try?
Yeah, so it was a lot of trial and error. I could show you my cabinet filled with supplements of all of the different things I did.
So let's back up from that. How did you decide to try magnesium as a solution?
Okay, so I'm a huge believer that our body was built to heal. I
Mhm.
don't believe that we are deficient in anxiety drugs. I don't believe we're deficient in sleeping pills. We're not deficient in prescription medicine. We are deficient in the stuff that we need, our minerals, our vitamins, our nutrients. We're deficient in relaxation. We're deficient in sleep and sunlight. We are deficient in that. I believe that we have that God has provided us everything that we absolutely need to heal. And I'm not saying that, I'm completely against medicine. If I break my leg, I'm going to go to the doctors. I need them to fix that, right? But in terms of these chronic issues that so many of us struggle with, particularly things like sleep issues and anxiety, overwhelming stress, all these issues that we kind of brush off and we say is normal, I believe that there are ways to fix that. And I believe that if we dig deep enough, we'll stumble upon it. So, when I first was going through this, I met with nutritionists, I met with functional medicine doctors, I met with acupuncturists, chiropractors, dietitians, you name it, health coaches, all of the above, because I wanted to get everybody's perspective. Like, why do you think this is happening? And to be 100% honest, I spent thousands of dollars trying to figure out what was wrong with me. Thousands.
Wow.
And the sad part is not one of the specialists I met with even mentioned magnesium. Most of them didn't even mention, hey, what are you eating? What's your lifestyle like? How's your
Well,
stress
why
level?
are you keeping us on the cliffhanger? How did you find out about this magnesium?
So I remember I was actually at a farmer's market and I bumped into a lady and we're having this conversation. And she was an older lady, gray hair, but she was in really good shape.
Mhm.
And we're talking, we're having this conversation. She's like, and I had told her, a
Is
really
it a
short.
conversation about your health or just
Yeah,
a
yeah,
conversation?
just about health and stuff. I think I was remarking on how healthy and fit she was. And
Mhm.
she's like, something. She's like, I dealt with this issue, and this issue, and I bought some magnesium spray from the health food store and I started spraying it on my skin. And I'm like, what? And she's
What?
like, yeah, it's some spray, some magnesium spray. I was like, okay, this lady's crazy. I'm like, lady, I have taken magnesium pills before. Like I've taken every pill out there. Like it didn't work. Your magnesium spray is not gonna work. And she's like, listen, it worked for me. It's worth a try. They sell it at the health food store for like $10. I'm like, all right. So I did it. I went and I bought this like spray from our local health food store, sprayed it all
Right.
over my skin, and it itched, it irritated, it burned the heck out of my skin. But I slept. Like I slept.
Really?
Yeah, and I thought, okay, well, this has magnesium in it. These pills I took have magnesium in it. What's the difference between the two? And that kind of sparked like a spark to a pile of leaves. Like it set a fire inside of me that I was like, I need to figure out why this $10 spray from the health food store helped me sleep. Meanwhile, I'm taking pills and pills and pills, and none of them are doing anything for me. So it kind of started my research, and then from then on, it's been like a snowball going down the hill.
Wow. An old lady at the store. It's always the old lady at the store.
Right,
Always.
right.
Always. And that's not a diss on the old lady. It's a diss on the fact that, not only did you spend thousands of dollars, but you spent thousands of hours,
Yes.
between research and doctor's appointments and tests and analysts and reading and all the other things. So that is, I would like to say I was surprised, but I'm not. But you know what I've done, and this is about you, not about me, but this is what I've done. Like, so if I have an issue now, I go to the health food store, at least the best one in our area, and because the woman's like brilliant, right? And I'll just start talking to her and saying, hey, I'm just doing this, and she'll pop it off way better than the doctor or anybody else. So that if that helps anybody, gives anybody any tips, instead of waiting to bump in somebody randomly in a grocery store, you might want to go to the health food store, and not talking about like Whole Foods. I'm talking about your little local spot.
Mhm.
But as far as it pertains to magnesium, you ain't got to go nowhere because Natalie got you. So Natalie, you tried all this. Did you figure out what the difference was between taking magnesium orally and spraying it on externally?
Absolutely. Yeah. And kind of just to mention, it really goes to show the power of conversations. Like just having a conversation with people can really change your life. Listening to podcasts where people are having conversations, really just having these conversations, you never know what you're going to learn. It is powerful. But yeah. So when it comes to magnesium, the difference was there are 14 different forms of magnesium out there.
Mhm.
14. And when you do go to the health food store, it can be overwhelming because you see this wall of magnesium and you're like, I don't know which one to take.
Right.
And the problem that I was facing and that many, many people are facing out there is that the most commonly prescribed, the most commonly used, the most commonly sold form of magnesium is a form that just doesn't work.
So what is that? You probably don't even want to tell people, do you?
No, I do. I want to warn everybody.
All right, okay. Let's get the warning.
So,
Public service announcement by Natalie.
right. Stop the press, write this down. If you learn nothing else from what I say today, just remember this. Avoid magnesium oxide like the plague. So magnesium oxide is a form of magnesium. It's the cheapest, it's readily available. It's what your doctor is going to tell you to take.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, it's amazing. So unfortunately, that form of magnesium only absorbs at a rate of 4%, which means the other 96% is going to go right through your digestive tract. And for most of us, will have us in the bathroom all day long. So it not only doesn't work, but it also causes stomach issues.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah, and that's what most people take. So what I hear most often is people say, "Well, I tried magnesium and it didn't work." Well, did you try the right type?
Yeah, no, the real question is, well, did you know there was 14 different kinds?
Yeah.
So I believe the same thing that you do, that our bodies are uniquely and amazingly made, and we are meant to heal, and we are meant to heal ourselves. So I'm not asking you why we don't produce the right amount of magnesium. Is it the fact that our foods just don't have it because of the way our foods are processed now?
You are asking me a loaded question. Yes, let's get into it. Let's
I
get into
didn't even know it was loaded.
So the National Institute of Health says that about 70% of the population fails to get enough magnesium in their diet every single day. 70%. If you think about that, you put 10 people in front of you, 7 of those people are not getting enough magnesium. That is huge.
Yeah, it
And
is.
it's overwhelmingly why we're dealing with all of these crazy health issues that are just, being diagnosed as one thing or another thing, but the root cause is not being addressed. And the root cause for many of us is that low magnesium. So part of the reason is our farming practices have changed dramatically over the last 100 years. So we are looking for bigger crops, better crops, faster crops. We are farming out of season. We're eating produce that was harvested 3 months ago before it even winds up in our grocery store. So when that happens, the nutrients just aren't present. The soil isn't rich in magnesium, so our food is no longer rich in magnesium. And unlike, vitamin D, where we can create vitamin D in our bodies, magnesium is something we have to get from our food. It's something we have to get externally, and it's something we need to replenish every single day, similar to protein. You know how we get our protein goals every day? We've got to get our magnesium goals every single day as well. And
So
then
what are those?
Mhm.
I
Oh,
know,
what are
I know it's probably different for everybody, but in
Yeah.
general, I do know about the carbs, proteins, fats, percentages, and I know it's different for every person. But how much magnesium should the average person be getting?
Yeah, so the RDA, the recommended daily allowance for magnesium, is 350 to 400 milligrams a day. But the RDA was created to help healthy people stay healthy. So if you're already dealing with magnesium deficiency, it might not be enough for you to just get that bare minimum RDA. You might need more. And of course, I say this with the caveat, speak with your healthcare practitioner before taking any kind of supplement. Read the fine print, my liability statement.
Don't blame Natalie.
But I say this so that you can have these conversations, so that when you do sit down with your healthcare practitioners, that you are armed with the right questions to ask, so that you can learn more about this mineral and figure out what works best for your own unique needs.
I'm sure you've heard the news. Financial freedom is within your reach, thanks to Derick Gant. With over 25 years of experience, Derick's 24K life philosophy transforms everyday challenges into stepping stones for success. Imagine mastering your finances, setting and crushing your goals, and shifting your mindset to elite levels. Derick empowers you with tools for financial freedom and measurable results. His strategies are crafted to ensure you live the life you've always dreamed of. From his book to engaging workshops and online content, Derick's insights are designed just for you. Start your journey today and turn your aspirations into achievements. Visit derickgant.com. It's time to live your 24K life. Are you ready?
So your magnesium deficiency showed up as the inability to get a good night's rest, which I'm assuming caused anxiety and other issues. What are other symptoms that people should be looking for? You know, like I sleep like a baby. So what other issues should people be looking for to indicate that they might be magnesium deficient? And I probably am one of them. So what would I be looking for if I sleep well?
Yeah, absolutely. So magnesium deficiency typically looks like trouble sleeping, overwhelming stress and anxiety that's just not going away. It looks like headaches, muscle cramps, hormonal imbalance. We see this a lot in women. It's high blood pressure is tied to low magnesium. High cholesterol is tied to low magnesium. Restless legs, that muscle twitching, you know, when your eye is twitching like crazy, all of that can be linked to low magnesium. And it sounds like a lot. It sounds like a huge umbrella amount of things that could cause it. But magnesium is involved in 700 different biochemical reactions in our body, and it's literally present in every single one of our cells.
Mhm.
So it makes sense that it's going to control all of these just different body systems.
Okay, so here's the loaded question. You said I asked you a loaded one before, and I really don't expect you to answer it. For those of you that are listening and not watching, we keep posting Be Rooted, www.berootedin.com, which is where you can go and learn more about this. And you can also get some actual products that Natalie supplies with her disclaimer to see your physician just before you do anything. But here's the question, Natalie. You said that there are 14 different kinds of magnesium, and you just named 40 different type of ailments. So how do we cross-reference which one is appropriate for which situation? And
Yeah.
I don't exactly to answer each one, just in general, you know, what should we be doing?
Yeah, that is a great question.
Thank
So
you.
at the end of the day, we just need to get more magnesium into our bodies, right?
Okay.
We need to find a form of magnesium that works well for us, that we tolerate really well, and that will adequately raise our magnesium levels. If you can do those three things, you're good. You're golden, right?
Okay.
So that when we get kind of down into the nitty gritty, there are forms of magnesium that kind of have a little leg up for different ailments. It doesn't mean that it's the only one that's going to work for that ailment, but they kind of get a little bonus. And so, for example, if we are talking about difficulty sleeping, a lot of people will use magnesium glycinate because that form tends to be help you a lot with sleeping. The reason why is magnesium glycinate is magnesium that's bound to the amino acid glycine. Glycine in and of itself can help with relaxation. So when you're taking magnesium glycinate, you're getting like a two-punch way of addressing your sleep. That doesn't mean that any other form of magnesium is not going to help your sleep. That one just kind of gives it a little edge, you know? So if you think about magnesium in just to prevent you from being overwhelmed, if you think about magnesium in the form of, hey, what's going to work best for me? What's going to absorb really well? And what am I going to remember to take every day? Find the magnesium that does those three things. You're going to be golden.
Okay. So for me, I told you I know a little bit. And so what I know is that my partner said, hey, I been reading about this. I heard about this magnesium situation. I've been reading about it. I ordered it online and I've been rubbing it on my back and it's helping. You should try it on your knee. So she gave me some, put it on my knee. And I was like, holy shit. Like, what happened? It worked, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how do you know, and I know what you just said, but how do you know if it should be orally or externally? Because I think she bought a little starter kit and some of it was oral and some of it was external. And oral, like you said, for you didn't work. I didn't try it, but she tried it. Didn't work for her. But when she applied it in the form of a cream or the spray, it worked much better.
Yeah. So my answer to that is do both. Do both. So oral magnesium is best used to make up for deficiencies in your diet. So let's say you're not eating your leafy greens, your nuts, and your seeds like you're supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
And for reference, it takes 10 cups of raw spinach just to get the bare minimum amount of magnesium that you need in a day. And I love salads, but I am not eating 10 cups of salad a day. So keep that in mind when we talk about getting magnesium from our diet. It's possible, but it's not easy. So to make up for the deficiencies that you're getting in your diet, using an oral magnesium every single day is going to help make up for that lack that we're getting in our diet and help with overall magnesium status. Using a topical magnesium, which is my personal favorite way of getting magnesium, can really help to deal with immediate issues. So like you were saying, your knee is hurting, right? So what happens is when magnesium gets into that tissue in your knees, it's going to relax the muscles in that tissue. It's going to reduce inflammation, and that's what helps get the pain to stop, right? But if you take a pill, that pill is going to go throughout your entire body. But if you use a topical, it's going to go right to your knee where you want it to go immediately. So I really like topical magnesium for addressing immediate concerns. So those leg cramps, headaches, difficulty sleeping, like you take magnesium supplement, and you're going to have to wait 45 minutes to an hour for that to kick in order to help you sleep. But if you just woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning, you don't want to sit around for an hour waiting to fall back to sleep. So using a topical, which gets into your bloodstream within 5 minutes, is a much better option for those issues.
Okay. So one of the things that you said is that, use it. And then it was one of the three things that you said. And the third one was once you've done that and you don't have a magnesium deficiency, you'll be fine. How do we know when we don't have a magnesium deficiency?
Great question. So, and this is what—
Are they really great questions, or are you just being nice?
No, these are good ones. You'd be surprised the questions I get asked. So when it comes to determining your magnesium status, this is what absolutely blows my mind, alarms me, and it leaves me completely flabbergasted. So magnesium, about 60% of your body's total magnesium is stored in your bones. The other 40% is stored in your muscles, tissues, and organs, leaving less than 1% in your blood. Now tell me the first thing doctors do when they're testing you for magnesium.
Take blood.
Your blood. And then your blood work comes back normal, and you're like, but I can't sleep, and I have headaches, and my legs are cramping up like crazy. What, you're telling me I'm normal? Well, yeah, because magnesium is not stored in your blood. So we're looking in all the wrong places to determine whether or not our magnesium levels are good. The bad part of this is that there really isn't any accurate test for magnesium deficiency. And that's according to the National Institute of Health. They came out publicly saying, yeah, there's no accurate study or test that we can do for magnesium deficiency. So we really need to go based off of our symptoms, right? So if you can't sleep and then you take magnesium, okay, cool, it fixed it. You know now that you are magnesium deficient, and it's something you need to stay on top of.
Okay. So I have one last question. And then you can share whatever you think is going to help us all continue to be better and be more consistent in creating this new magnesium habit. But early on, you mentioned that when you took an oral dose of magnesium, that only 4% of it got absorbed. It had a 4% absorption rate. That's what you said, correct?
Yep, that's for magnesium oxide.
See,
yep.
I pay attention. So which oral, and I know you have them all, and we can go to www.berootedin.com, but which one do we take so that we aren't wasting 96% of the pill?
So if you're just getting started in magnesium and you're like, all right, what do I take? What do I take that's going to give me the most immediate benefits? You're going to want to start with topical magnesium. So using it right on your skin. There are some incredible studies out there that show that using topical magnesium chloride, 500 milligrams a day, twice a day, can raise your magnesium levels by close to 60% over about 12 weeks. So to get—
Can you repeat that? Because I was thinking and not listening. Did you say twice a day or once a day?
So okay. The studies, I believe it was a 2010 study that was just absolutely incredibly impactful. And it showed that using 500 milligrams of magnesium chloride twice a day on your skin was able to raise the participants' levels by close to 60% in about 12 weeks.
And you can put this anywhere
on your skin that's going to absorb really well. So, your areas of skin that are the thinnest, or, inside of your arm, your chest, your abdomen, those areas have really thin skin. So it tends to work faster there. So for reference, if you were to take a pill or a powder, it would take anywhere from 6 to 9 months to get those same results. So we're seeing that using it topically is safe, it's effective, and it's also really good for people who have gut issues or an inability to absorb their nutrients properly. So many of us are walking around with leaky gut, or having IBS or Crohn's or any kind of stomach issues, and using things topically allow you to absorb those nutrients without it going through your digestive tract. So it's a real nice, easy way to get your magnesium levels boosted. And then from there, if you'd like to add an oral supplement on top of that, you could do something like a magnesium glycinate. Magnesium malate is really good. Magnesium taurate is really great. Those 3 forms of magnesiums are very well absorbed. They're fairly affordable too. Magnesium's not some crazy expensive supplement that you'll have to spend thousands of dollars on. But glycinate, taurate, and malate are 3 really great forms. A lot of companies make complexes that have a little bit of all different types of magnesium, and those generally tend to be good too. As long as you're avoiding oxide, you are doing better than 90% of people out there.
I like it. So again, I usually am so sharp, but this is so interesting. I'm like really focused, and I'm not, I'm in it. I'm not back from it. So here's my question. I know for a fact you said 6 to 9 months to get your levels up if you're taking it orally. Did you say 12 weeks if you're doing it topical, or 12 days? I knew you said 12.
Yeah, 12 weeks. 12 weeks if you're doing it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Most people start to feel better within a week using it topically, but it could take up to 12 weeks to according to the study, that 2010 study, it took 12 weeks to raise participants' levels by close to 60%.
Excellent. So why don't you tell us what we'll find if we go to Be Rooted In?
Yeah, so I created an incredible line of topical magnesium chloride creams that have twice the amount of magnesium chloride from the leading brands out there. So it actually took me 2 years working with 6 different chemists from all around the world to create this product. There's literally nothing else out there. And the great thing about this is that each teaspoon of that cream has that 500 milligrams of magnesium chloride in it. So you're able to use a teaspoon twice a day on your skin and meet that level pretty quickly. So it works really, really well. It's been an amazing product. We launched about 2 years ago and we've sold out now 8 times. So it's been a real blessing. It's been amazing.
Well, good. Well, you have some in stock now?
Yes, we are stocked on 2 of our products. We are out of stock on one of them, but we are.
Let's get at it, Natalie. Let's get at it. Everybody's going to run to your site and pick some up. And I thank you so much for sharing your insights and your wisdom and helping all of us be a little bit more 24K.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me on. It's been a pleasure.
You're welcome. Just sit tight and I'll be right back with you. Okay. All right, everybody. I keep telling you, we bring you the insights. Now, I know that you hear so many things about what you should take supplement wise. Or what you should be doing, or you should do this, or you should drink this water, and all the things. But magnesium is in your bones. According to Natalie, it's not in your bones. It's supposed to be in your bones. So did you listen clearly to what she was saying? She was saying, listen, get a doctor's opinion about your nutrients and your supplement and your diet. But she also said that they're testing the wrong shit. 1% of your magnesium's in your blood, and the rest of it is in your bones and in your muscles. So just know you have to do the right things right. We ask you to like, share, and subscribe. And if you want more information, go to berootedin.com. I'm Derick Gant. Be your best. Bring your best. Leave nothing to chance.